So I want to bring to everybody's attention today the mindset that some of us have around insurance. I find a lot of offices I go into have such an insurance mentality that we hand that to the patients. In fact, I had a client once in Southwest Texas, who looked at me and said, all my patients only accept whatever's covered by insurance. And I said, really? He goes, yeah, that's all they bring up all the time, insurance, insurance, insurance. And when I listened to him do a couple of exams, and I recorded his exams, guess who the first person was to bring up insurance? The good doctor. And all of a sudden, and he didn't believe me until I hit play and he could hear it, that he was the one bringing up insurance. Now, I think, not to pick on this particular doctor, but I think that's a common issue in a lot of dental offices. So I want to present a different way for all of you, Bob present a different way for all of you to present insurance to your patients that I think will kind of blow your minds.
Now, this is particularly meant for offices that have in-network PPOs or insurance. It's not really meant for the kind of insurance where we're out of network and we're still collecting our entire UCR fee. So I want to make it clear, if your office doesn't participate in any PPO networks as an in-network or preferred, another swear, oh wait, that was a different video, wasn't it, Darren? Or a preferred provider, just turn this one off, doesn't apply to you. Here's the deal. I want you to imagine a typical office like Darren and I were in offices all week, and one thing that we ask a lot is, tell me about your fees. And we'll say, for example, and I want you can fill in the blanks here during the video by thinking of your own fees, but I'll just give you some examples we heard this week. For example, for a regular adult cleaning, 1110 is the code, what's your fee? Normally I'm seeing $100, $110. That typically is the amount we're seeing around the country. And then I'll say, okay, fair enough. Now tell me on your most popular insurance, the one that's the biggest in your office, the PPO that you participate in, which a lot of times is going to be Delta or Cigna, one of the big names. What is the fee now after the write-off?
$75.
$75, I've seen it as low as $50. And so what does that mean? Let's think of what that means. That means that we take our regular fee, 100 let's say, and we do a write-off of 25 and we arrive at 75. Fill in your own numbers here, but those are pretty legit. That means we just gave a discount to the patient of 25% or $25. Fill in your own numbers. We forget about this until, of course, we see our yearly production and the fact that we wrote off like $800,000, and after we finished vomiting, we realized that we never really utilized this and got our money's worth. For my write-offs of thousands and thousands of dollars, Darren, I want to get my money's worth. How do I get it?
So, question for you all, and I want you all to say it out loud for me. How many cleanings, if Dr. Bob you're a Delta PPO patient coming into your office, how many cleanings can he get a year? Say it out loud. Everybody say it real fast. How many cleanings can he get a year?
Now, with the magic of video, I'm going to predict what probably 90+% of you said, which is 2.
You're saying.
Be honest. If you said 2, that's cool, but you're wrong. The reason you're wrong is because, A, this is America and I get as many dang cleanings as I want, Darren. But forgetting that, think about what we just talked about with this write-off. If a patient comes in for cleaning number 1, he gets this 25% discount because he's carrying the Delta or Cigna or what have you card. It's like a membership card of sorts. It's like going to one of these stores that requires a membership and you get better pricing. So by simply showing you this card, he already gets $25 off. Now, for the first and second cleanings of the year, oftentimes the insurance company will pay toward that for the remaining $75 in our example. For the third cleaning a year, is it covered? You're dang right it's covered. That patient's getting $25 off. That's insurance coverage. If it weren't covered, it would be $100 like we discussed, or whatever your fee is. I want you to now extrapolate. So you think, big deal, that doesn't make a difference. Well, let's extrapolate this out to a big case. I want you to think right now of your crown fee. Now, we see variations in crown fees around the country. I would say they generally vary from about $1,000 to $1,500. You say that's true?
Yeah.
So let's pick $1,200. Just picked one. And I'm talking about the build-up and the this and the that, just a crown. Make it simple. Now let's find out what our PPO has as their allowed amount, or their maximum allowed fee. 700, 750,
800.
800. So let's go 800. So your fee is 1,200, the crown's 800. Now let's imagine a patient that's having 8 crowns.
Complicated math.
Let's imagine a patient that's having 10 crowns. So their fee is $12,000. 1,200 times 10, 12 grand. But on this insurance that we're using in our example, their fee is what?
4,000 less.
Right. They have a savings by simply waiving that card or bringing in their group number or whatever of $4,000. That exceeds the maximum on pretty much any insurance. They actually had a better benefit by getting this PPO discount than actually the money that the insurance will pay you by sending you a piddly check of whatever's left in their insurance. Let's say they had their entire maximum left, which is unlikely. They probably already had a cleaning and x-rays, but let's say they have their entire $1,000 left and they send it to you. The patient still benefited much more by the $4,000 discount than they did by the $1,000 additional discount, which is what I call in my office double coupon day. So if we adjust our mindset to tell people, your case costs this much, and this is where the case fee is so important.
Define the case.
Case fee. A lot of us have a tendency to do these printouts, and unfortunately all of our softwares default to these printouts where we have a line item. Filling, the code, the insurance, and then it ends up being like a big spreadsheet where we have each line has its own total patient portion. And by the time we exhaust that $1,000 max or whatever, that starts being a little lower. And so patients go, yeah, I'll do that one. Or how about this? I'll do the 3 fillings, but I'll think about the crown. I mean, how? Seriously, let's be honest. We hear that a lot.
Or they'll do the first crown because it maxed it out because we told them that. And now they wait on the remainders until next year.
So we go back to our 10 crown case. I would rather have a case fee. This is a big case, and we can divide that down for more day-to-day cases. But imagine the 3 fillings and a crown, they give a composite UCR fee. So it's $1,600 plus a couple, whatever it is for the fillings. I give a UCR fee, and then I do all the math, and then I come up with the patient portion based on our research from the insurance. So the regular fee is $2,100. After your insurance discount and payment, you wind up with $950 or whatever it's going to be. To me, it's much cleaner because as dental practitioners, we need to be treating their oral health, their mouth, not picking and choosing one, leaving one right next door to continue to decay just because of an arbitrary max. Now, the funny thing is a lot of people say, well, patients aren't going to accept that. They want to see every line. You know what? They don't. Who wants to see every line is you, because you're in the mindset that patients want to see it. And you've decided that they know what their max is and they're going to check if they max out. Now, is this always happening perfectly? Do patients sometimes, the engineering type, let's say, want to see the entire breakdown and the breakdown of the breakdown? Sure. We're not trying to hide something. We're trying to portray to the patient what the cost is to get their mouth back to a state of health, which is what at AMP we've said since the beginning. We don't sell dentistry. We don't sell procedures. What we want to sell is ethical, honest dental health. So if you could change your mind to how much the write-off is affecting the patient's case, as opposed to the little tiny pot that they're going to pull out of every time you do a procedure,
well, to reiterate the 12 crown case, it was a $4,000 discount or a $1,000 insurance contribution. Tell me which one's the bigger and better deal. And the reality is this is way bigger. And
four times bigger.
4 times bigger. And I want to amplify that, no pun intended, but I want to amplify that because I don't see most people presenting it that way. And we were just in an office this week together where we went through this whole dialogue with someone who's relatively new to dentistry. She went and did it, was telling the patient this, and the patient was like, holy cow, that's an amazing deal.
What a great deal. Now go back to our very first example, the cleaning. Let's say the patient has a lot of staining and it smokes or whatever, and he really should come in quarterly for cleanings. Our old mindset was, well, you can only do 2 in a year. That's what you're allowed, or that's what's covered. Now let's think about our new mindset using the numbers we used before. The first cleaning, the patient has a 0 total. The second cleaning, the patient has a 0 total. The third cleaning is 75 because they got this excellent 25% discount. The fourth cleaning is 75. Now imagine we present this as a case. We make a treatment plan that indicates a case fee. Your case fee, because you're a heavy smoker, we need to do cleanings every 3 months in your case. Your case fee for those 4 cleanings is $150. Not a bad deal. That's less than $40 a cleaning.
$42.50.
Totally worth it. Right, totally worth it to keep your teeth. Is that $42.50? You did math that fast.
I don't know if I'm right, but
I think that might be wrong.
could be.
Whatever. I think it's 30. I think it's $37.50. But do your own math. But whatever it is, it's a good deal.
37.
It's a good deal. $37.50 for a cleaning. If you had a sale and put a sign on your door, dental cleaning $37.50, you'd have a line out the door. But yet this is the exact fee in your office, and we're saying it's not covered, and patients are saying, forget it, I'd rather have disgusting looking teeth because I've been told my insurance is not working for me.
So the bottom line is, instead of beating down the insurance company, one of the things I've always taught, and I don't have a problem still stating this, is to cast doubt. But I still think it might be even better, in lieu of all of this, to celebrate this person's insurance.
Yeah.
They've paid a lot of money for this insurance. I mean, do you know what the average person pays per month for their insurance? What, $50, $65?
In our area, it's been about that, and I encourage you to ask that. Ask a patient you know or a friend of yours who works for a large company and has good PPO dental insurance. Ask him what he pays. It'll vary if you work, for example, if you work as a teacher, it might be a little lower because you have better benefits. It does vary, but people bought it. They bought it with their time or their work or their money, and they don't want to go to the dentist and you tear it down and disparage it. Instead, build it up. Say, I'm really glad you have this insurance. You see, you voluntarily accept this insurance. That's your contract. If you don't want to anymore, fine. Get out of the PPO. But while you're in it, instead of complaining and moaning and groaning, let's build it up. You have this insurance that's really great for you, Darren. I'm so thrilled because you need 4 cleanings this year, and it's great because it nets out to $37.50 a cleaning with your insurance. It would have been $100 a cleaning. This is a great deal for you. Isn't that a positive way to present insurance instead of the, it doesn't cover, it's maxed out, I'll have to call them, I'll have to all that BS goes away when we present it in a positive light.
It's a better way to go. Can't deny it. And, you know, when you contrast that with the fact that 43, 44, 45% of Americans do not have dental insurance, and think about that for a moment. So if we take this $55, $60 a month, multiply that out, since I'm obviously not good at math, what's that work out to be?
Well, if it's $50 a month, that's $600 a year.
$600 a year. So now the question is, we feel bad for the cash patient who comes in. Should we feel bad for the
We
cash
don't even feel
patient?
bad, Darren. I've been to many offices where the person says I have cash, they go, oh, you get a discount. It's like, what are your UCR fees even for? You never use them. You know why we shouldn't give a cash? Tell me why. Finish the thought on the $600.
So think about this. The cash patient saved $600 to walk into your office. They are self-insured through saving their own money. So they are, in fact, $600 ahead of this person who's paying for their amazingly awesome PPO insurance.
And may never use it. So I like when somebody comes in as a cash patient and goes, oh, look, I can't do that. I have no insurance. Let's portray that in a positive light by saying, you know what's really good about this? Did you know insurance is $50, $60 a month? Just by having no insurance, you're saving yourself like $600, $700 a year. And in this case, you need a procedure that's $200. You're coming out ahead if you had insurance. You see, this is a positive portrayal. Instead of going, oh, let me give you a discount, becoming a discount dentist. Because you give the first guy a discount, then he tells his sister, you give her a discount. Next thing you know, you are the discount dentist, and your fees mean nothing. If you set your fees to be fair to both the patient and yourself, which they should be, and they should be fair in your area, your zip code, and if you don't know what that is, talk to us, we'll let you know what it should be, because we have that data. Then be proud of your fee, and if somebody asks about it, say, yeah, our fees are set to be fair to both you and me. And that's what it is. Do you have a discount? I'm sorry, we don't. The only discount we ever gave in our office that I think is legit is either a senior discount, which I think is cool, especially now that you're a senior almost. And number two, if we have a large case and the patient wants to prepay the entire case up front, we would do a discount. I believe it's 5% or something. Different subject for a different video, but I'm talking cases of over $10,000 where you're happy to give that discount in order to see the money.
So the bottom line here is I really want you to think about what is your own and your team's own perception of insurance. How are you guys treating it relative to what you're portraying? Are you portraying it in a positive way, in a negative way? Are you portraying that this discount is an amazing savings and something that they should take advantage of right now while they have it? Because, in 3 months when you're unemployed, you might not have that, or whatever the case might be. So really examine what is your baggage, if I can call it that you bring to the table around insurance. And then have a conversation with your coach or your team if you don't have a coach for some crazy reason. If you don't have a coach, you should get one. But if you don't have a coach, at least sit down as a team with your doctor and have a conversation around what is our insurance mentality here? Is it helping us or is it hurting us?
If you want to even pull up this video and show it for an office meeting, because I think patients are already negative. It's a negative place. I don't want to be here. I'd rather be anywhere but the dentist. I'm scared. It's too expensive. It's too much time. They give a million reasons to feel negative already. So we're going to pile on? No way. We're going to be fun. We're going to have a good time. And we're certainly not going to portray insurance that they paid for and they're happy to have because they're lucky to have this good job as a negative force in their life. That is just backwards from the way we all need to act on a daily basis.
Fair enough. Thanks so much for joining us. I hope you found this to be helpful. Can't wait to record another one for you.
See you next time.